All right, guys, so we got some big fight news over the weekend. Belal Muhammad is going to be defending his title against Shavkat Rakhmanov at UFC 310. I believe that is on December 7th, one day after my birthday. So thank you, UFC, for the wonderful birthday present. I know y'all didn't do it for me, but still, I like to think that way. Think positive, as they say. But a lot of people are just going off being like, okay, Belal's title reign comes to an end, and you would be wrong. Belal Muhammad is going to hand Shavkat Rakhmanov his first loss ever, and I'm going to break down exactly how he's going to do it in this video. But before I do, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps with the algorithm, helps grow the channel. By the way, the channel is 1 year old. I know I don't have a ton of subscribers yet, but it's coming. It's a work in progress, okay? And I got other things going on. I'm a busy guy. Anyway, let's get right into it. So here's the thing about Belal Muhammad, guys. He never looks the same in any of his fights. Now, sure, like his movement, his cardio, his pace, those are all weapons that he uses in his fights. But against every single opponent, he looks a little bit different. Why? Because he is a game plan master. He takes the fight to the place where this person is the worst and he is just slightly better, and he makes sure that they pay. He makes sure that they suffer in these positions. And let's start off by looking at just a few examples of this. So in the Vicente Luque fight, right? Tons of lateral movement, side to side, with some explosions here and there to essentially give him an edge. And then he would shoot for a takedown or something like that when Luque would kind of get frustrated and really try to land a big power shot. Then he'd kind of grapple him to the point where he was exhausted. Belal Muhammad did exactly as he wanted to against Vicente Luque. Then you look at the fight with Wonder Boy. Almost no lateral movement whatsoever, right? Just forward pressure, forward pressure, right? And Wonder Boy did some good counters and whatever the case may be. But it was all grappling all day long. If we look at his fight with Sean Brady, right? Belal Muhammad is constantly in his face, but with just enough space that if Brady shoots for any sort of takedown or grappling exchange, he can stuff it, he can thwart it, and then gets right back into his face, kind of in that boxing range, right? Because when Sean Brady is super dangerous on the ground. We saw how he manhandled, Calvin Gastelum. The dude has some slick submissions, but Belal Muhammad game planned this. This was supposed to be the guy that ended Belal Muhammad's unbeaten streak, right? And the other thing about him is he gets better over time, right? Usually that first round, although lately that's kind of gone the way of the dodo, right? Even in the first round, he's been pretty good. But, it used to be that he would kind of have that first round to figure things out, and then, his cardio, his pace, he'd get better as the rounds go on. But we noticed that he's in the face of Sean Brady constantly, consistently, constant pressure, right? Having him back up in that kind of boxing, short range, with just enough space to be able to read the takedown. And we all know that he did that standing TKO against Sean Brady. Is it similar kind of story with Gilbert Burns, just constantly in his face, not a ton of grappling exchanges, but just a little bit more volume, right? Gilbert would throw maybe 2, Belal Muhammad would throw 3, and he got the job done there. And then against Leon Edwards, right, we see Belal Muhammad, once again, in his face, tons and tons of volume. Leon Edwards is the kind of guy who needs space. He needs time to kind of pick his precise sniper-esque shots, right? But Belal Muhammad's game plan was to be in his face, constantly hitting him with that jab, pushing him up against the fence, and then going for that takedown. And there were even some times in that fight where everyone's like, oh, Leon is gonna outstrike Belal, but he was winning on the feet too, right? There were some times where Leon was absolutely wobbled, in that kind of boxing range of Belal Muhammad. So Belal Muhammad has some incredible skills, guys, and he can take the fight exactly where you are gonna be the least comfortable and have the toughest time against it. And I think he's going to do exactly the same against Shavkat Rakhmanov. So where is Shavkat the weakest? Well, what we saw, and he's got a pretty great game plan, right? He's got a pretty great skill set. But what I do think is that he is weakest kind of in the pocket. He keeps his chin up very high. And we saw against Jeff Neal, kind of in that boxing range, he wasn't the greatest, right? So what I think we're going to see is Belal Muhammad is going to come up with a game plan where he is in the face of Shavkat Rakhmanov in that boxing range. He's going to stay away from the submissions, lots and lots of movement as we saw against Vicente Luque, different things like that. And he's going to be able to stuff any kind of takedowns, any type of grappling exchanges, and really just put a pace on him as far as like in that boxing range goes. And I think by doing that, he is going to leave a lot of you guys upset, because I think he's going to win a decision. And the other thing that we're going to see, because we haven't seen it out of Shavkat, I think we're going to see a cardio issue, right? I don't really know, but Belal Muhammad is a cardio machine, right? 5 rounds of basically nothing but wrestling with Leon Edwards, and he looked fine at the end of it, right? And Shavkat Rakhmanov has not gone 5 rounds. So, like, this is probably going to a decision. And if it goes to a decision, it absolutely favors Belal Muhammad, right? Because the longer this fight goes on, the better he's gonna do. So yeah, like, I just don't think we're going to see Shavkat get an opportunity for a finish against Belal Muhammad, right? Dude's got a chin, you know, KO's a possibility, but yeah, I think Belal's gonna take to a spot where he's never gonna have that opportunity for that knockout, and there's never gonna be an opportunity for Shavkat to, you know, get in a position where he gets a submission on Belal. So, you know, the things that Shavkat, in my opinion, has going for him, really, it's the fact that he is the younger fighter, right? They do say that, you know, I think it's, I forget the statistic, but there's like 3 or maybe 5 total successful championship victories for fighters over 55, and Belal is one of those guys, right? So I just, like, I don't understand, you know, Shavkat's got that going for him. That's the bottom line. So that's my take, right? I just think that Belal is going to disappoint a lot of y'all in the sense that he is still going to win. He is going to defend his belt. And I think it's a great thing to see because he is an active champion. He's going to fight again sometime in March, I think, after Ramadan. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think who's coming out on top here? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.